Welcome everyone to Real Estate Daily. It is our first show of 2024. My goodness, it's 2024. We're going to go over some news for the last week or so next. Yes, I know that the housing market has been kind of hanging around. Interest rates have come down. So we're going to go over what we're seeing out there, especially boots on the ground, what I'm seeing. And then I'm also going to go over some news articles that are just coming out the first week. And they're absolutely surprising me about what is being said. Now, before I jump into it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and then hit that like button. I really would appreciate it. It helps get this video out there. Also, if you're looking to buy or sell real estate in 2024, down below is a link and I'll give you actually the House Heroes buyer guide or seller guide. You can have them both for free. Just go down below. I know that it's a little scary first time selling your home or first time buying your home, but I'm going to make that a lot more easier. Kind of go over the process and what to expect and how to pick the right agent and all that encompasses it. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. Now, I put this up. This is CNBC today, Wednesday, and this is actually Wednesday because I haven't even put anything out. All three of these top articles are very bullish on real estate. I'm very surprised because CNBC is typically a very negative. So if I look at this, it says luxury real estate will be slightly better story in 2023, says Doug Eamons Noble Black. Next one says mortgage demand should increase in 2024. And then it says mortgage rates will tick down, Zillow co-founder Spencer Rascoff. We're all seeing these positive things. Why? Well, because the Fed is struggling. If you really know who's in control, it's the bond market. If the bond market says, hey, we need yields up because no one's flying into bonds, well, then rates will go up, and that's what the Fed does. But we are in election year, guys, and there's a lot going on. And I know even though today the Fed minutes, the meeting minutes came out and said we're not lowering it till the end of 2024, there is no way that Joey B and the boys in blue up there in Washington, D.C. is going to allow that to happen. He wants it done now, and he wants some kind of momentum going into November, the beginning of November, so it can get him reelected. This has always been the year in which all the promises are made and things are done. Our lives are so much better because they want to make sure they lock in their votes. So let's jump into the next one. This is Logan Matsushima. What he is a economist, a real estate directly economist, and he's been fighting just like I have all 2 years about there's no crash that is on the horizon. And we've been saying this for years. He actually put in on Twitter X kind of something funny here about what the excuses were every year that we were going to have a crash. And he starts here at 2012 shadow inventory. I remember back in the day, that was like years. Oh, there's all this shadow inventory. This shadow inventory was based upon all these REOs or foreclosures that absolutely just got melted right into the real estate industry as they were sold off pretty quickly as buyers came back into the market. Higher mortgage rates in 13, QE ending in October, manufacturer recession. We have the all-time low manufacturer recession right now. Come on, why aren't we falling apart? Every single month for the last 14, 15 months, manufacturing has gone down. Home prices got back to a bubble high. I mean, we can all take that snapshot for every single year and apply it to 2023. It's kind of funny. No good reason. Well, because my mom said so. Got that one. I've heard that one too. 5% mortgage rate, start of a bubble crash for sure in 2018. Yes, another bubble crash. Makes complete sense, huh? 2019, home price growth was cooling off. That's what I heard. I heard all this shit last year, right? It's the same BS. The only thing I didn't hear last year was this, right? The bear flu, right? But that's when the time was to buy, was at that moment. And home prices went up in 2020. How did that happen? What was going on? Okay, 2021, mortgage forbearance. Mortgage forbearance, if you remember, is when people were let's say, unable to make their mortgage payments. So what the government did, which the government will do to this year too, is if you're behind in your mortgage, you can then go and solicit the servicer or who the note holder is, and then make a deal saying, hey, can I, here's my hardship. Can I not make a payment for 6 months, 12 months, whatever? Make a deal with them or make a partial payment, whatever it is, and you will not put me in foreclosure. That seems to be something that is now happening. Instead of kicking people out of their houses in 2007, 2008, 2009, the housing crash, well, that didn't do anyone good. I mean, it doesn't do a politician good to see a lot of his constituents or people in his district or their state getting kicked out. So what do now? They give the soft landing. Yes, you can take a time out, 1 year, don't pay. What's your hardship? When you go back to work, get back on your feet, get all these reasons. 2022, 7% interest rates. 2023, high interest rates, historical. Guys, it's kind of funny, but if you just take certain numbers in our industry, such as what's the pending, what's the sales. Well, if you have low pending and low sales, that means we have no one buying homes. Exactly the opposite, because you don't mention that we have no inventory. Literally no inventory. The inventory is so thin right now. And I know that for the last couple of weeks, I've been getting multiple offers on properties that I have listed or my team has listed, as well as I'm starting to see buyers hit me up and want to go look at homes. In fact, I think this weekend I'm going to be showing multiple buyers homes. They are back. They see that this is the beginning of a tsunami. If you look at all the reasons I just talked about, 2024 will be better than 2023. And if we can get into the mid to low fives, we will see inventory hit the market, because we're going to see people sell their homes with all this equity and then take the equity and move it to another home. It's typically a buy up. You've had an extra baby, you have one extra room, you're bringing in, a family member into the house, and they need a room, and they'll contribute to renting that room, whatever it is. It's pretty funny, but these are all the excuses that we've seen. All right, let's jump to the Kobesi letter. This is what scares me. Now, this is what scares me. Not only is that credit card debt, which is unsecured debt, is at all-time highs at over $1.1 trillion, okay? So when your credit card company and you're maxed out, before you stop making your payments, this little scam has now popped up, really popular in the last 3 or 4 months, and it is going to be trashed in the next 6. It's called buy now, pay later. So what happens is you can walk into a place and you can say, hey, you know what? I don't want to take out credit. I don't want you to run my credit report. I don't want to have all the state and federal documents. So to get around that, I have to have some type of loan that's 3 months or less, 3 payments or less. If I have anything over 3 payments, I have to take out loan docs, right? I'm being loaned money, whether it be secured debt, unsecured debt. Well, that's what buy now, pay later. And so I can break up that debt, right, into 4 payments. First payment is while I'm at the cash register or wherever I'm at, I have to make one of those payments. But then I have 3 other payments. And this is what is going bananas right now. Buy now, pay later sales hit a record 16.6 billion over the last 2 months, up 14% compared to 2022. Online holiday shopping sales hit a record 222 billion in the last 2 months. Why? It's because of this shit scam that they're putting on people. It's just, you're adding more debt to what you have, and we're already 60% of American households are living paycheck to paycheck. It says this is up 4.9% compared to last year, and it was largely driven by buy now, pay later financing. 1 in 4 Americans have utilized buy now, pay later financing. Typically, these loans do not require credit checks and come with higher interest rates. How can this end well? It's not going to end well, guys. It's not. We're going to see the separation of the middle class. It's going to happen in your face right now. It started to tear apart in 2022. It's being torn apart in 2023 because more than 50% of households are living paycheck to paycheck. And now, Johnny, what do we got here? We have buy now, pay later without a credit card, without a credit check. You got it, winners. So this is the new scam that's happening. I'm hoping that you didn't get caught up on it, but this is it's just terrible. I don't even want to. don't pay this off. If you have it, pay it off. Don't get yourself in more debt. All right, let's jump into the interest rates. Interest rates are kind of steady, in the last couple of weeks, and that's what's really spurred on a lot of people going out there looking for homes. 30-year conformings at 6.68. That ticked up a little bit. FHA went down a couple basis points to 6.50. I know that they were a little lower a couple weeks ago when I did my last video, but this time it's a little better now. It's a little worse, but we expected this. I had told you that we were going to go down probably in the 6.7s, or the 3.7 interest rate on the 10-year bond. Then we're going to bounce up to 4s. We're going to hit the 4.05, and then we're coming straight down in the 3.6s, 3.5s. That's what I am predicting so far. It's kind of played out that way. We went down to the 3.8s. We had a momentary in the high 3.7s. Now we're sitting at the 4%. So I think we're going to go a little higher than this. We'll bounce off of this, meaning we'll bounce off a ceiling, and then we'll start heading down. We saw that the numbers for job openings just went down significantly, which is one of the biggest indicators that the market is going to get trashed. It's one of the first indicators, and we saw that the job openings were just terrible or bad. They were very low, and so I think that's just the beginning indicator that the reason why the bond market's there is everyone's going to fly into it, because we know traditionally once the Fed lowers rates, we typically see it's too late, and the unemployment rate skyrockets. And with that being said, inflation goes down because no one has any money, and the Fed continues to lower rates. So, well, guys, thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. There's a lot going on that's happening right now. I go over some macro. I also go over some real estate. I want to make sure that you are in a position to understand what's ahead of you. Anytime you're renting is never a good moment in my eyes. I understand that some have plans to get out of that rental rat race. Others are just sitting there and they're just caught up in it. Please have a plan for 2024. If you look at a traditional year, and remember, the last time we had this was not a traditional year because we had lockdowns, we had all kinds of stuff going on. The years before, it was all good. All good. And I think this is going to be the last of a good year for a long time. Make sure you have a plan, because the have and have-nots are continually being separated right now. Guys, you have a fantastic Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow.